'Tis the season. Merry Christmas from all of us here at WBRZ.
Oh, what fun. Sleigh riding in the Raising Cane's River Center. And the tall heights this holiday hero will go to for this.
Boom.
From boom to wow. Paula Pennington de Labertone's Christmas tree is spectacular. You'll hear her very touching story about one special ornament.
Oh, I'm going to get really very emotional.
We are having a Blue Dog Christmas. See how the artful creator's legacy lives on in classrooms and cookbooks around the state.
Red and yellow. And of course, the blue dog in all of its glory.
Charlene Bolton has a lot to say about a creative idea spinning around in her head. Gifts for hundreds of her friends she calls Wheels of Love.
I have been called an angel.
We're riding along with Big Brown, checking his list and checking it twice.
Do you feel like, in a way, you have a lot in common with Santa?
Yes.
Merry Christmas and welcome. I'm Sylvia Weatherspoon. Charlene Bolton believes you are never too old to have fun, and her creative ways of showing that is the spirit of Christmas.
This should certainly put the merry in your Christmas. Oh, what fun. Charlene Bolton posts dance party videos and fun photo shoots like this on her social media page all the time.
We take their hand and we dance with them. We jitterbug with them. It's all about touch.
She loves bringing a little joy to the world, especially for seniors, which is why she puts in a lot of long hours and tireless work creating activities and experiences for the elderly. So much so, some people believe she might be an angel.
I have been called an angel.
Interesting, right? Which is why I asked to see inside her closet, a good hiding place for a halo. Hang on, you need to see what I discovered.
Hey, my baby, you in red. You look good.
I tagged along with Charlene on a surprise visit to this senior care home in Zachary. They love it when she walks into the room, and it's easy to see why some think she's here on Earth for a divine assignment. She makes every visit feel like Christmas, handing out special gifts or treats like lollipops for everyone. This year, the wheel started spinning on an idea Charlene dubbed Wheels of Love. Colorful spoke guard covers that attach to the wheelchairs for some of her nursing home friends.
The nursing home residents can see the wheelchairs around them, and it's going around, and they'll say, like, oh, I remember that. Yeah. Wait, that's like in the 50s, you know? Oh, that's when I was skating, because I did skates and everything nostalgia-wise, you know.
Charlene and her son had no idea how challenging or expensive it would be to make and provide them for free to the residents.
He had to cut it. He took sheets of plastic from Home Depot, and he would draw out it would do 8 spoke guards. Then he'd have to cut them out. Then he would have to, it's just such a procedure, but he had a special machine that he made, and it would cut it out, and we would paint it, and then we'd have to spray paint it, and then we'd have to put a sealer on it. It took months. We do different designs at each time, but one lady saw the gardens, the flowers. They had a woman that was gardening, and I use coloring book pages to do all of my, I use an overhead projector, and I trace everything because I cannot draw.
The payoff.
We gave out about 150.
So worth it.
I think they are darling.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they are.
It was amazing. Their eyes they were like, and then we would hold them up and say, which one do you want? And they'd go like, I want the Marilyn Monroe one. Or we had one that was John Wayne.
Charlene learned the priceless value of showing gratitude to seniors from 2 of her favorite mentors.
Since I was little, I've always loved my grandparents. I've loved anyone that was old, because it's just they were so special.
Serving seniors is her way of honoring her grandparents' legacy. 2015 is when Charlene started her first major volunteer work with seniors at the Louisiana War Veterans Home in Jackson, Louisiana. recruited by her son, who was also volunteering there in the library. She was especially moved by so many of the patients confined to their beds.
And they were just laying there, and they were just staring up at their ceiling, and there was nothing to look at.
So she decided to create colorful drawings for them.
First, we started off with pictures where we had people. I would trace them with the overhead projector and coloring book pages. I'd ask them what they liked. They would tell me. Most of them liked Jesus. They wanted like a farm scene. One of them liked roses, yellow roses. And so what we did was we would make them, and I had volunteers come and we'd paint them. So we hung them by their bed on their wall.
Then Charlene decided to put the art on the ceiling. She wanted it to be the first thing they saw each morning.
We'd have paint parties. I mean, I've had as many as, I swear, 40 people. At the War Veterans Home, in the cafeteria, we play music, always play music, and we would have desserts, and we would just have the best time, and they would paint them, and the war veterans would be around, and they just would love them. They'd see their actual tile being created for them.
While the country was in lockdown during COVID, Charlene made sure nursing home residents knew she was thinking of them. She and her son constructed and painted these giant wooden flowers she called blooms of love.
We painted them, and then we put little ladybugs on them and like little butterflies, and we sit them outside their windows.
Charlene wears many hats in her service to seniors. She gave me a peek at some of them in her closet. And look at all the outfits and sparkly boots, all custom made to fit themes of their special dance parties, which includes her dance group volunteers. She calls them Charlie's Angels. Where have I heard that name?
Everybody thinks it's the show, okay? It's not Charlie's Angels, the show, but everyone thinks that. My dad has called me Charlie since I was young. That's my nickname, Charlie. And I am here to tell you that I was like, what can I call my group? I said, I like angels, so what about Charlie's Angels? But to differentiate them from the Charlie's Angels on TV, I spelled it differently. I was like Charlee.
Charlene did not give me the full tour of her closet, so I imagine that halo is probably tucked way in the back somewhere. But her loving heart for the elderly is on full display. In fact, she sees them as gifts we should all treasure while we can.
I feel like they've paid their dues, they've gone through life, and they are full of wisdom. And I just love them.
Well, you will certainly marvel when you see Daniel Smith in action, a holiday hero to the rescue for the spirit of Christmas.
Look, way up in the air, faster than LSU Heisman winner Jaden Daniels running the ball in Tiger Stadium. This gigantic tree topper, more powerful when it's actually switched on. Able to leap. Okay, climb really tall ladders very carefully. No, it's not Superman. Actually, this is Daniel Smith. You may recognize him and his team, which includes his twin brother.
They're all local firemen. They're all comfortable on ladders.
Most of us are not comfortable on ladders, which is why, for about 6 weeks starting November 1st, Daniel Smith becomes Holiday Hero. It says it right there on those bright Christmas red shirts. Honestly, it probably would be hard wearing a cape while trying to fluff.
Nice fluff in there, Jeff.
And drape.
We need to put that tree skirt on.
20-foot Christmas trees.
So somebody want to take a step back and see if it's straight on top?
Daniel officially started his decorating to the rescue business just 8 years ago. He is a self-professed plus-size Christmas decorations diehard.
We started competing in some of the neighborhoods. They would host a little competition in Kenilworth, where I live, and I would try to win that. And then people kept asking, you know, will you decorate my house? Do you do anything else? I was like, sure, I'll give it a shot. and we just kind of took off from there.
First, just a few houses. Now, almost entire neighborhoods, courthouses, churches, hospitals. And this year, in October, their biggest project yet, dressing the Raising Cane's River Center in all the Christmas splendor of silver and gold.
Yeah, give me another one.
And thousands of bright, twinkling white lights for the Junior League's annual Holidays Christmas shopping event. Here, the Christmas rush has a deadline. Only a few days to get these massive spaces decked out top to bottom.
We have to build the frame. The frame goes up about 15 feet, and then you add 5 foot to the very top of it. And that's just, the top part is just a pole with branches on it. But you have to bolt all this together.
15 trees.
The biggest tree we've done is a 23-foot.
Garlands and glitter and wreaths. Oh my.
Make sure those lights are working, Cam.
Nutcrackers taller than some people. Even this little person pitching in.
I helped put the ornaments on the big tree behind me.
Oh, and that gigantic 30-pound star of the show, ready for the spotlight.
And then the plug is hiding somewhere. All right. Boom.
The big reveal looks fantastic, right? But wait, there's more.
This is pretty amazing. My own sleigh ride.
Check out this 8-foot beautiful sleigh, all the way from Canada, with a backstory. Perfect for a Hallmark Christmas movie.
I live down the street from my fire station, and we were actually coming back from a medical call, and I saw the lady in the yard. I had seen this sleigh on display for years. Even when I was a kid, I used to see this sleigh out in that yard, and she always had toys and things all over it. And so I stopped to talk to her because I hadn't seen it. I think she didn't put it out that year or something. So I stopped and talked and asked her about it. I offered to buy it from her. And she told me a story about how a fireman came to her rescue a few years before that. And then she said, come back later, we'll talk about it. I came back later and she gave me the sleigh. Daniel says one of the perks of being the holiday hero is when he can give back. A few years ago, he set up decorations at the home of EBR Sheriff's Deputy Nick Touye, who was shot in 2016 during an ambush on law enforcement officers in Baton Rouge. We knew that Nick was living in Kenilworth at the time. We would respond to him, help move him around, and it was around that Christmas time. And, you know, we just left, and I knew he was in bad shape, and so I lived right around the corner from him. I said, we're coming to decorate this house. We're coming to do it.
Touye died in 2022 from his injuries. Outside the Ochsner Medical Complex at the Grove, this beautiful, gigantic tree, 23 feet tall. It's a gift, wrapped in sparkle and glow. For holiday hero Daniel Smith, the spirit of Christmas is making our community merry and bright.
Paula Pennington de Labreton is well known for her philanthropy, and at this time of the year, her beautifully adorned home reflects her faith, her family, and her fun passion for the spirit of Christmas.
Come on in to our winter wonderland. Maybe it is the kid in me, but I also think about, like, what are my grandkids going to see in this? You know, is it going to make them happy? And so, like, when they first walk into the foyer and they see my Christmas tree is the little green ones lit up, and I have the boy and girl elves and everything, and they go wild. The interactions, I used to try to video, but now I just sort of watch them because take it all in, because it's like, oh my God, they're making their own memories. I was looking through Oprah's magazine, O Magazine, and the December issue, and I saw a picture of her Christmas tree, and it was full of Radco ornaments, and I never knew what a Radco ornament was. I started collecting my Radco about 27 years ago. I started out with just ornaments. I have snow globes. I have cookie jars. And so I have many boxes that are hidden with ornaments in them. I love my train. I love my train. As you can see, it is a cookie jar.
Oh, are there cookies in there?
No.
Not yet.
There
Cookies
won't
for
be.
Santa.
No, because then the kids will be in all of them.
What is it about a Christopher Radko ornament that you
The
just
colors, they make me happy. I mean, if you look at them, I mean, they just put a smile on your face. You know, you can choose different ornaments that mean something to a different part of your life, or a sport, or a favorite band. You know, like my husband is a huge Beatles fan, so I keep looking for Beatles ornaments. And the frog, I don't know, I just love my little frog.
How many have you broken?
Over 27 years?
Yes.
Oh, Lord, not that many. We're really lucky. I don't know if I have a favorite. It would be so hard for me to choose because it's like I have some that are more vintage that if I know if they get broken, I'll never be able to find them again. And then I have the whimsical that might remind me of one of my grandchildren or just a fun part of their lives. Jack happened to be in New York for 9/11. So I called the hotel and I got their room, and when he got on the phone, I was screaming, do you know what's happening? And he was asleep. He did not know. And he told me later that morning he was supposed to go. Wow. He was going to go, but he overslept.
Wow.
So, yes. I'm going to get really very emotional, but yeah. So when actually we've been back to the memorial every year, it's just a memory for him. And then I thank God that he's still here. I do not have so much Radko that we forget the meaning of Christmas. It's Jesus' birthday. My North Pole. I love my North Pole. I love the little seesaw. They love to watch the seesaw.
And look at
I know, the reindeer going around. The little gummy gumdrops. I don't know. There, look. It's happy. You're making candy. And little Donald Duck. And,
yes.
And the little hot tub. And the crayons. For my hubby. He loves M&Ms.
Is the deer getting a pedicure?
Yes, he is.
How cute is that?
The spirit of Christmas is the spirit of giving. It's the spirit of coming together, family coming together, of being together, of sharing a meal, saying grace together as a huge family. It's all those things.
Elvis gave us Blue Christmas. George Rodrigue, well, he gave us a South Louisiana tale that's TAIL on the spirit of Christmas.
Dad loved Christmas, and growing up in Lafayette, we lived in the gallery, and so we lived on the first floor. The gallery was the second floor, and Dad painted on the third floor.
You may have heard of his dad, George Rodrigue, the South Louisiana native and famed artist, best known for his unique paintings of Louisiana landscapes and people. There are also a few paintings of Jacques and his brother Andre. And of course, his wildly popular blue dog paintings.
And at Christmas time, we'd always set up a big tree downstairs, and they'd always try to hide the gifts from me, but I was a pretty good detective, and I'd find them hiding in the gallery somewhere.
I met up with Jacques Rodrigue at the West Baton Rouge Museum earlier this year. Some of his dad's work was on exhibit there, including some really fun pieces.
Check this out. The blue dog in a way you've never seen him, in red and yellow. And of course, the blue dog in all of its glory. This is 8-foot chrome. Impressive, right?
The blue dog also celebrates Christmas. Plenty of holiday prints, and there's a Christmas book, too.
So in the early 2000s, Dad did a whole book called Blue Dog Christmas, where he put the blue dog in several different Christmas imageries as Santa Claus or with a Christmas tree. And it was a very successful book that actually even included an ornament
The book takes readers back in time to when 12-year-old George discovered the true meaning of Christmas and his calling and special gift to create. Jacques says, like Christmas, the Blue Dog paintings have a way of making many people feel good, even inspired, especially children.
From the early days of the Blue Dog series, teachers and students from across the world were sending us their images of their blue dogs they were painting. And so we knew that this imagery was, and he knew that this imagery was really striking a chord with students.
Still, Jacques says it was not until the Blue Dog relief efforts post 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina that his dad truly understood the power of giving back through his art.
The arts are so essential to student development, and it leads to more creativity and imagination, those skills that students need to be successful for the rest of their lives.
Which is why George embarked on a mission focused on arts and education.
Back in 2009, Dad started these programs. There's a scholarship art contest for high school students. Every student that's a junior and senior in Louisiana is eligible to apply. We award about $25,000 in scholarships to our winners every year.
He also created a program which donates $1,000 art supply kits to schools statewide, including Dufrock Elementary in Baton Rouge.
What's the key here, Jacques?
My colleague Michael Shingleton was there when George and Jacques made the presentation.
It teaches them that, when you grow up, you can be anything you want. You can be an artist, you can be a carpenter, you can be a janitor, you can be anything you want. Someone like me came from New Iberia, Louisiana, just started painting, and I'm still painting.
And feast your eyes on this. It's another part of the art program called the Louisiana Culinary Heritage Art Contest, featuring the second edition of the Pot and Palette Cookbook. It includes 100 recipes from Louisiana chefs, musicians, and local celebrities. And it is completely illustrated, as you can see, by some very talented Louisiana students and art scholarship recipients.
I miss Dad every day, and I can't not think about him every day. It's what we do. It's how we live our life, and it's in many ways he's still here. We still all work for him.
George Rodrigue died in 2013 from cancer. He was 69. This is one of the works he never completed. His legacy lives on. Jacques and his brother making sure of it, sharing their dad's story with the world. His incredible artistic talent is the gift which keeps on giving. That is the spirit of Christmas.
We end with the story featuring the big man himself and the special way he delivers the spirit of Christmas.
Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane.
Okay, this is probably not what you were expecting, but turns out UPS driver James Big Brown Joseph has a lot in common with the jolly old elf. They both work in the package delivery business. They both have a list.
All right, we're checking our list just like Santa Claus.
Checking it twice.
Checking it twice.
Can you tell by shaking the packages if the child has been naughty or nice?
No, I cannot tell. First of all, I'm not shaking no packages.
Okay, well, they both worked very late on Christmas Eve.
I deliver to the last packages off my truck to make sure every child and every individual get their Christmas stuff.
And we're off.
James has been with the company 27 years. He became a driver in 2001. He knows everyone.
Where's Amanda at?
And they know him. James is driven by much more than running his routes in new roads. He seeks out ways to serve his community.
That's when you can find out if the elderly person needs an air conditioner. That's when you can find out if the elderly person needs a heater. That's when you can find out if a child needs shoes. Because you're seeing it with your own two eyes. What them heaters at, Toe?
This is what that looks like in real time. James making a quick stop at this hardware store to purchase a couple of portable heaters after receiving an early morning call for help.
All right, Tobe, I'm gonna get to him.
To understand his heart for giving, James brought me to Eden Park. It's a small community just off Plank Road in Baton Rouge.
I was born and raised in this house.
Through the front door, family portraits cover the walls of the living room. His grandparents, his mother and aunt, all the people who taught him the importance of helping others.
My mom made sure that people in the community also had Christmas. So it was just me. You know, she wanted to make sure that every child had something.
This is all that's left of what used to be a basketball court, a popular neighborhood hangout just steps away from his home. It's also where his Uncle Michael taught him to shoot hoops.
I started liking it, got to be fun, and I picked it up and ran with it, and it took me around the world.
Oh, yeah, hey, I couldn't get you that. Take it down now.
In 1989, James signed with the legendary Harlem Globetrotters. He wore number 38 and even picked up a nickname, Jamming Jay.
Because at that particular time, I was one of the guys that could really jump. And so I was like, could jump real high. So the nickname stuck.
Traveling around the world, entertaining crowds with their amazing ball handling skills and funny spoofs. And perhaps even more significant, in many of those places, they were allowed the opportunity to serve the needy. James was with the Harlem Globetrotters 4 years. He says he's still connected.
Every year the Globetrotters come in town, and I feed all the players. And every year, yeah, they give me a ball every year.
James travels just about the entire state of Louisiana year-round, providing food and water for underserved children, backpacks for school, toys at Christmas. He has paid the fees for at least 1,000 kids to take swim lessons, and that barely scratches the surface of his deeds.
In Belrose Elementary School, they never had a playground in their entire life. So we put a playground in the school that never had one.
He takes care of the elderly, too, giving away hundreds of AC units, fans, and heaters. James has more awards than he has space to store them all. He even earned the recognition of the President of the United States, Barack Obama's signature right there on his Volunteer of the Year award. James knows his folks are watching.
They will be very proud because I'm continuing the tradition.
A tradition of delivering the spirit of Christmas every single day.
Do you feel like, in a way, you have a lot in common with Santa?
Yes. I tell people this all the time. We deliver the package. Santa Claus get the milk and cookie.
Thanks so much for watching. From all of us here at WBRZ, Merry Christmas.